Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're playing GISHKI Sprite. And you guys might be saying, ugh, Sprite, Fatsoid. Well, this is a bit different. The Sprite package is growing ever so small. That's all I'm gonna say. You really don't have many cards now left in Sprite. You got 2 blues, 1 jet, a red, a carrot. Then you got some other Sprite cards, but the thing that makes it really cool are these just GISHKI cards. So we were playing 44 cards originally, but I was able to cut it down to 40, and I think this is more optimal because you really want to be opening Aqua Mirror. So this card pretty much is going to allow you to end on 2 extra monster negates, and the monster negates that it ends on shuffles back the deck, similar to 9 Pillars of the 10 Yi, if you guys are familiar with that card. And that's going to come from the new boss monster, this card right here. So, yeah, so the basic combo, you guys are going to see the combo full board. I'm going to show you guys in some games, but yeah, this deck's really cool. And we got some troll stuff in here. We actually don't get to show this off because I added this near the end of the stream, but you don't have to run this. I mean, I think Triple Tactic Thrust you should run, but D-Berry, you can replace this with whatever card you want. This was kind of troll, but this is just so, like, if your opponent plays on your turn and you're going first, you Triple Tactics Thrust, and you can set D-Barrier to, like, turn them off from going into their Eggsy monsters or what have you. So, yeah, should be pretty fun. You guys will see how the deck plays, and we'll talk about each match, and we'll go to the recap, and I'll tell you what I think about it and how we performed. Hello, and welcome to game number 1 against Mr. Mort, or maybe you're Mort. We got pretty much full combo because we opened up the spell. So this is what I'm talking about, full combo. I'm going to tell you this right now, if he had Imperm, my entire combo stops. So, if I had another Sprite card in hand, even if he Impermed, I still play through this. But, unfortunately, he doesn't, so we're going to do this. We're going to set up the monster negate now, pay 5k life points, here we go. And that's going to bring back another level 2. Here comes Elf. Elf brings back Abyss. Remember, Abyss is not once per turn, so we just grab another one. Here's Sprint. That's going to do the Angular. Double Sunfish. Gigantic. Gigantic is going to search for this. Go into Jet. We get Starter. Here's IP. We don't really need red on board, so the reason we don't need red that much is because we have this card. So with this board, we have a bounce off a sprint with a Gigantic Sprite. We have protection for these 2. We have IP that can go into Nightmare Unicorn. We have a spell and trap negate. We have a monster negate that shuffles back, and then with this card lets you special summon it again. This is not hard once per turn, so you get 2 monster negates that shuffle back, and we have Call By, and Ash, and Maxi. So this is the pinnacle of kind of what you want to be doing with the deck. If you do this every game, you're probably going to win all your games. So we get Kaijun, goes Unicorn, we just send it back, we resummon it, summons it. Honestly, at this point, I already said on stream, I'm just going to use all the effects, just burn through him, because I don't think he has enough cards to actually compete anyway. And he's under Max C. So here goes Right Heart, I bring back IP, Sprint bounces it. Now we go into, we negate this, pop it, and now we go to Unicorn. And we also had Call By and Ash, so he was just like, he was ultra screwed. And that's how powerful the deck is. And it gets even crazier, too, if you're able to get red on the field, too. So that's an extra monster game on top of all that. Alright, here's game number 2. And again, our opening hand's like pretty decent. Here we go into Sprint. We're gonna combo. Boom, boom. There's Gigantic Sprite. We summon the GISHKI. The only reason we didn't search blue is because we already had the starter in hand. Otherwise, you search blue there. I just did this to thin the deck out. So here's Jet. Jet got a starter. There's Mannequin Cat. Not sure how I feel about Mannequin Cat. Like, it has its uses, because, like, if your opponent ashes or something, you get to get a free red out of the deck, but it's, I don't know. And plus, like, the really nice thing about Mannequin Cat, with all the people playing Cash, if they ash or something, right, you can bring out the ash, and then your opponent can't use their Cash cards. They can't special summon, so he's gonna summon Unicorn. I actually don't do anything here. I could have negated this, but I figured the negate would be better if I just held it. So I'm gonna negate and pop the Unicorn. And now he's playing Endymion, which kind of threw me off. I negate the extra Foolish Burial, mainly because I wasn't 100% sure what he would send, but if for some reason he would send something like Nintis or something like that, I didn't want to get my shit popped. Like, I would have to use the negate anyway. So here comes the Majesty of Endymion. I could have Unicorned this before he did that, but I just didn't know what he had in his hand. I wasn't expecting him to have, like, Jackal out of, like, a 40-something called deck. But this is fine. He's screwed. He loses the game here. Because now he just goes Gigantic Sprite, attack, and now he just goes Zeus. And I could put down our Magician in this, just so we can have an extra charge of Zeus when we do something like that. But yeah, that's a thought. That's an idea. Alrighty, we're here, game number 3 against Solid Texture, and we are on the draw. Okay, well, our opponent is going to do absolutely nothing. Why did I even save this game? Now we're gonna have to figure out why. Sprite Sprint. Okay, summon, Gigantic Sprite. We get Ashed here. Okay. We search for this. We attack, and I think we go Zeus. Yeah. Oh, this is why. This is actually pretty good. So we couldn't OTK because he used Ash on our card. We didn't have enough damage. So we end up doing this. This actually gives us a negate. We have Zeus effect, and we have another negate here. We book a Moon Zeus. He's playing Pearly. Summon our negate. Here we go. Summons a Pearly. We negate it. Send it back. This was really weird to me because, like, why? I don't understand why he just passed the turn if he was playing. Like, he had everything, right? Like, this isn't just like one turn of drawing. Like, the dude drew kind of into everything. So it's a little strange to just have him pass. A little bizarre. So we imperm him, and he just scoops it up because he knows I have enough damage once I flip this card up. But again, I'm a little confused. I hope you guys are too. Alrighty, we're here with game number 4 against Whammy. And I've been seeing this on ladder sometimes, but I see people playing like a ton of GISHKI cards. Like, they're playing like 3 of everything. I don't think that's right. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just think it's like, it's so much. Okay, so we're comboing. This is pretty much all before we lock ourselves into 2s. There we go. So we get a negate out. Yeah, so we're gonna end on double negate. Oh, not double negate. I don't think we had a spell. We have a lot of negates here though. We have a monster negate, 2 monster negates, spell and trap negate, protection plus can bring back something, and we have IP Masquerade, which can Nightmare Unicorn, and we have Imperm. So we're gonna see to negate this. It's +1s him, so I'm just like, let's just get rid of this. Like, if this guy is evenly, I guess I'm just fucked. But he has a higher chance of drawing evenly if he potted desires. So we're just gonna bounce this way. He summons Cat, he tries to do that, and then he just scoops it up. Again, I mean, these games are kind of repetitive in my opinion. Alrighty, we're here with the final game, and like I said, these games are a bit repetitive, that's why I'm only showing 5 of them. My opponent does his stuff, I ash here. Let's see, he triple tactics stress for Imperm. Goes Birth. Okay, cool, there's Fenrir. Shangri-La. Fenrir goes full board against me. This game's actually good, because like I'm going second and I'm not just building the same board. He pretty much ends on best cash board that he physically can do on me. So he has a Rise Heart, he has this, he's gonna have Unicorn and Fenrir. But this is the weak part of Kashtira. Triple Tactics Trust. So we just search evenly match. And now we're just gonna evenly, boom, bye bye. And now we have to deal with a Rise Heart, which is really problematic for us. So we add Gishki Vision. We're gonna add this. This does bring him to 4 materials. You have to be very careful because your opponent's he's gonna keep sucking up cards, right? But you cannot use this effect because once you try and use this effect, he's just going to banish it. So you have to make sure you wait until he uses his vanish effect. So we go into Onibaro, which forces him, and then I'm just gonna negate it, send it back, and now he's screwed because now I just do full Sprite combo. He's got like 2 cards that he's gonna draw, so it's gonna be very, very tough for him to come back here. Again, as starter. Here comes the Elf. Here's Sprint. Pretty much just building like pretty much full board now. Here's IP. And then we set. So we're gonna have Carrot. Pretty much what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna have Red and Carrot, and he's gonna have to deal with IP, and he's gonna have to deal with that's pretty much it. That's a lot. Like he only has 2 cards, and this is probably the best card he could have top deck. One of the best cards he could have top deck. So this is gonna allow him to banish this card. If you read this card's effect, he's gonna be able to grab one of these banish cards. So since he's gonna do that, I have to negate it. And then I'm gonna go into Cerberus, because he's trying to go to combat. I'm at 900 life points. So if he top decked Unicorn and Fenrir, I actually just die here. But he did not, luckily, off the maxi. So now we're gonna bring back Jet Certs Burst, and then we just summon Sunfish, and we have Super Lethal. And GG. So we outed the best board that possibly this deck that the Kashtira could put out, and we did it with style. Hello, welcome to the recap. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us out greatly to our challenge to get to 10k subs. So that would be very helpful. Also join our Discord down below, because guess what? Every Friday we're hosting tournaments. You guys want to have a community to play with? Could be a lot of fun. Join it. Let's talk about the deck though. How do I think the deck is? Well, I think the deck is pretty good, and I think the variant I have here, the one I made, I think is a very good, clean list. I think the lists that are playing like 3 of every Gishki is like cope, ridiculously cope, and maybe it works out, but like I personally do not like it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it, but who knows? Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's low key, high key, insane. You know. I just highly doubt it. I've played against it like a few times, and I don't think I've lost to it. And that was playing with like the Kashtira deck and with this deck. It's just their win cons like really. It leans way heavier on the Gishki cards. And you might be saying, well, I want to lean heavy on the Gishki cards. Well, these cards are like decent, but they're not like insane. You know that, right? Like the Sprite cards, you see how these cards are limited? Like, because they're nuts. So you probably want to lean equally on both, rather than leaning heavy on the Gishki. The D barrier, I don't know if this is cope, but in theory it sounds pretty good. If anything, I think the main deck's really good. It's just, I think the extra deck maybe needs some work, but it's hard to tell. I think my extra deck, it's like super tight. Like I don't know if I can fit anything else in there. Maybe removing this. Oh, by the way, if you guys have Ninja Mosquito, remove this for Ninja Mosquito. I just don't have the card. So if you have Ninja Mosquito, put that card in. I just haven't got it from a Legacy pack, and I've pulled hundreds of packs so far from Legacy. I just have not been able to pull it. It is what it is. How did the deck perform though? We started at D2 and we climbed to Masters. So it performed pretty good, I would say. We had a few losses, obviously. At the beginning of the stream, we actually had a really unlucky spree of just like either going second and just not opening anything useful, or going second, my opponent opens the nuts and I just don't open any answers to it. Like, I'm not opening any of my like 15, 12 hand traps or whatever, and I'm not opening anything good. Also, I think it was before we edited the deck too, in the beginning of the stream. So this variant of the deck has a much better win ratio than the other one. But yeah, I think it's good. I mean, the end board you've seen is kind of crazy. It's really oppressive. And it claps back super easily too, because we still play the Gamma Burst. Gamma Burst might be cope though. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe instead of Burst, maybe we play the one that banishes. But Burst does help you kill people very easily. So that's the one big positive about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably going to say this deck is probably around like an 8, 8.5. I think it's I think it's like a good like tier deck. I think it's like a tier 3 deck. If this deck ends up becoming like tier 1 or 2, I guess I'll eat my words. I just don't see it. I don't know. Like, it feels good, but like, I just feel like going second, unless you open that thrust, it feels terrible. So maybe thrust should go to 3. I don't know. Something like that. But I think thrust is going to be a big game changer, and it definitely is going to change the way a lot of people play the game. So we'll see how that ends up happening. I heard a lot of people having a lot of success with like thrust with like Sky Striker, like just stomping on everyone with that. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about the deck. I mean, it's pretty much like playing Sprite, except you're throwing some of these other cards in here to get the ritual monster out. That's pretty much what it is. It's Sprite with like some extra negates, which is welcomed, by the way. I think it's really good, especially since Beaver got hit and the Swamp Frog got a lot of their consistency hits got hit. Is this going to be better than you playing Melfi? I mean, maybe you could find a way to fit Melfi in here. I would think that would be pretty good, but it feels kind of hard, to be completely honest. Feels pretty hard to get Melfi in this deck. Melfi could be pretty nuts though with Mannequin Cat. Like, if your opponent max sees you and you end up like and you ash it or whatever, and then you go into Mannequin Cat, and then Mannequin Cat can force summon the Melfi Cat. That could actually be kind of sick. Like, because you can force summon it out of your deck, right? Because these are Earths, right? Yeah, so you can force summon Melfi Cat, then Cat search Penny, and then you can go into Herald. So that could be kind of a cool tech too. So maybe Melfi could be a pretty good addition to the deck too. Just go back to its roots. But then you're getting rid of a lot of the what makes the deck cool. All these aqua monsters, you know, all these like fish, all these fish cards, you know, and sea serpents. So I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and also let me know what you guys want me to play next. And remember, join that Discord. All right. Goodbye.